We all remember the magic of 2001. Seeing Hogwarts for the first time changed cinema forever. John Williams' score, the flickering candles of the Great Hall, it defined a generation. But let's be real. Looking back as adults, some parts of the Sorcerer's Stone are, let's say, logically challenged. Why were the world's greatest magical protections solvable by three 11-year-olds who had only been in school for 9 months?
Checkmate!
With the new 2026 HBO series officially in production, we aren't just getting a reboot, we're getting a second chance to make Hogwarts great again. Today, we're diving into the massive plot holes the original film ignored, and why the 2026 version needs to get gritty with the lore. We're talking security flaws, child endangerment, and the Dumbledore Masterplan that borders on criminal negligence. Now, before we cast confundo on the logic here, a quick disclaimer. These movies were my childhood. I absolutely love the 2001 film, and it will always be a masterpiece to me. But as a fan, part of the fun is pointing out the cracks in the wand. So let's look at these plot holes purely for entertainment and to see what the 2026 series can improve. Part 1. The security joke. First, let's talk about the security. Dumbledore tells a room full of children that the third-floor corridor is certain death. Naturally, that's where they go. But the door is opened by Alohomora, a literal first-year spell. If a 12-year-old can crack the lock to a forbidden wing housing the most powerful artifact in the wizarding world, did Gringotts just have a better locksmith? Then we have the Devil's Snare. In the 2001 movie, they just stopped moving? It turned a lethal constricting plant into a game of musical statues. In the books, this was a test of fire and herbology knowledge. Hermione had to conjure bluebell flames. It showed her growth. But the biggest offender? The winged keys. Professor Flitwick, a literal charms master, left a broomstick in the room. If Voldemort showed up and couldn't fly a broom, was he just supposed to stand there and wait? Oh no, I'm the Dark Lord, but I forgot my flight lessons. I guess the stone is safe. It feels like a video game tutorial rather than a defense against a dark wizard who murdered his way through the ministry. The 2026 series needs to show us traps that actually feel like they were designed by the greatest wizards of the age, not a middle school gym teacher. Art 2. The Missing Piece. The 2001 movie completely cut Snape's potion riddle. This is arguably the biggest crime of the original film. In the book, there were 7 bottles and a complex logic puzzle. Hermione famously says, "A lot of the greatest wizards haven't got an ounce of logic. They'd be stuck in here forever." This was her moment. It proved she wasn't just a walking encyclopedia. She was a genius who could think under pressure. By cutting it, the movie made it seem like Harry did all the heavy lifting. HBO in 2026 has the runtime. Give us the logic. Give us the puzzles that actually require a brain, not just a Nimbus 2000 and some lucky catches. We want to see the characters earn their way to the final chamber. Part 3. The Dumbledore Masterplan. This brings us to the Dumbledore conspiracy. Think about it through a modern lens. He gives Harry the invisibility cloak right before he needs it. He happens to be called away to London the night of the heist. Did he really think 3 kids were the best defense against the Dark Lord? Or was he setting the stage? In 2026, audiences want prestige TV. Think House of the Dragon levels of complexity. We don't want Dumbledore to just be a kindly, eccentric old man. We want the master manipulator, the man who is raising Harry like a lamb for slaughter. If the new series is going to be truly book accurate, it needs to lean into the gray areas. Was the third-floor corridor a trap for Voldemort, or a training ground for Harry? If Dumbledore knew Quirrell was possessed, why let him teach? Why let him around children? The new series needs to show us a Dumbledore who hides secrets, who tests Harry's limits, and who maybe, just maybe, wanted Harry to face Quirrell all along. Was it a test? Or was it extreme child endangerment? HBO, don't play it safe. Give us the Albus who plays 4D chess with people's lives. Part 4. Visual Breakdown. Now, let's get technical. Look at this shot from the 2026 teaser at the 45-second mark. Notice the lighting. It's colder, sharper, more textural. The 2001 movie had a fairy tale glow. It was cozy, orange-hued, and felt like a Christmas card. It worked for the time, but the world has moved on to a more grounded fantasy aesthetic. The 2026 reboot looks ancient. The stone looks damp. The shadows look dangerous. It looks like a place where children actually disappear and the ministry covers it up. HBO has a massive budget, and they are promising one season per book. That means more time for the boring stuff that makes the world feel real. We need the common room chats, the ghost subplots, and especially Peeves the poltergeist. He was cut from every single movie despite being cast. Peeves is essential for the chaos of Hogwarts. He provides the texture of a school that is alive and slightly insane. If the 2026 series doesn't include Peeves causing havoc for Filch, did they even read the source material? Part 5. The Chosen One Burden. Another major plot hole the movies glossed over was the actual extent of Harry's isolation. In the 2001 film, Harry is a hero almost instantly. In the books, he's a kid with severe trauma who is suddenly thrust into a world that either worships him or hates him. The HBO series has the opportunity to show the psychological toll. We need to see the sassy Harry from the books, the kid who talks back to Snape and has a dry sense of humor. The movie Harry was a bit too passive. We want to see the boy who was forced to grow up too fast, struggling with the weight of a prophecy he doesn't even know exists yet. And let's talk about Ron. The movies did Ron Weasley dirty, turning him into the funny one while giving all his best lines to Hermione. In 2026, we need the Ron who is a strategist, the Ron who knows the wizarding world inside and out, and the Ron who is Harry's backbone, not just his comic relief. Part 6. The Verdict and Your Vote. Replacing the original cast is the biggest gamble in TV history. You can't just replace Alan Rickman's sneer or Maggie Smith's commanding presence. Those performances are baked into our DNA. But you can offer a more book-accurate version. We are looking for a scarier Voldemort, one that feels like a lingering shadow rather than a guy in a turban. We're looking for a Hogwarts that feels massive, ancient, and slightly terrifying. So, here is the question. Are you ready to say goodbye to the 2001 nostalgia for a darker, more accurate Hogwarts? Or is it too soon for a reboot? Does the 2001 film hold up as a masterpiece, or is it a flawed relic of a simpler time? Comment always if you're staying with the movies, or HBO if you're ready for the new era. I'm reading all your theories tonight, especially the ones about Dumbledore's true motives. Thanks for hanging out in the common room with me today. This journey back to Hogwarts is just beginning, and with the 2026 release date creeping closer, the rumors are only going to get crazier. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the logic, or lack thereof, in the wizarding world, hit that like button. If we hit 50 likes on this video, I'm going to drop a massive follow-up on the plot holes of the Chamber of Secrets. We're talking about the perfect security of a giant snake in the plumbing, why no one noticed a diary possessed a student for a year, and the absolute mystery of how Gilderoy Lockhart ever got a job. Don't forget to subscribe for our weekly Potter deep dives and 2026 production updates. I'm out. Mischief managed.